Good morning, everybody. You've got the shaky camera today because I took a night for myself and I'm about to take off to go home here. So we've got the full moon in Cancer today, and this occurs at what, 5:27 p.m. Eastern Time, and the full conjunct to retrograde Mars. There's some complexity here that comes into things. We're letting go of outdated attachments, um, attachments that are more centered around the need for validation, ego, uh, superficial crap. We're looking through what is superficial. So this full moon has us connecting what is deeply authentic when it comes to our true passion. The passion of the ego is something that for some people will be significant today. This is a strongly reactive influence. Or some of us can lose our shit because we are not fully in control of our own emotions. We are... You can't hear me? Is that better? Okay, Ariana, maybe I don't know whose end it is. Um, we are not fully, if we are not fully in control of our own emotions, our feelings, our ups and downs, then we can be super duper affected by anything external to us. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry about the volume. I know that's a chronic problem with me because you care more than I do. And I know you'd like me to fix that. And someday I will totally bring my attention to bear on that. I did get a microphone, a new one, but I don't have it with me. So you're just going to have to turn up the volume. I don't know what to tell you. I can't fix it from here. So there's a need to control our own emotions, our own reactions, and to see who outside of us is a trigger. Who outside of us, what outside of us, what situations, conditions, jobs, relationships, children, parents, friends, what triggers us to show our true colors in terms of our temperament, our selfishness, our lack of personal control. So we can see outside of us this particular full moon cycle who has the leash on us. Who's our devil in disguise? We pull the hooks out of our brains, our hearts, our attachment systems, and we unhook from what is externally trying to trigger us so it itself, they themselves, can receive the kind of validation that they're used to having. So we see who is trying to selfishly breadcrumb, trigger us, get us to reveal. Who's trying to bring out the worst in us? Who tries to trigger the worst in us? So we get control, we see how are we out of control, and we gain control of our own internal state, our own well-being. We learn to manage our own emotions instead of experience reactivity caused by something external to us. So it can be a very zen experience for a lot of us that are on the path of emotional mastery. For those who are looking to master others' emotions so that we can feel safe, secure, validated, that is likely going to fall apart or receive some cracks. So there's a challenge, there's a tension between what is trying to get us to lose ourselves and what forces internally are trying to get us to ground ourselves. And so we can very much detach from what is trying to move us, trigger us inappropriately. And we move towards what is offering warmth, regularity, consistency, investment, what is validating to us in life-affirming ways. So we let go of what is triggering and selfish, and that can be inside or outside of ourselves. And we embrace what is warm, comforting, consistent, and real. What do we want to invite into our home? Who do we want to invite into our heart? And if you don't want somebody in your heart, don't have them in your home. And you have somebody, if you have somebody who's in your home that is not respectful of your heart, it may be time to take space. We have a lot of other aspects going on with Uranus today. A lot. The Sun is in a separating trine from Uranus. Mercury is in an applying sesquiquadrate. Venus is in an applying quintile. And this pushes us to achieve more independence and liberation from those selfish ties that bind. We choose a full meal at this full moon because we see who is starving us emotionally, who's playing games, who's lit a fire in our tummy but they won't feed it. So we see who doesn't really want to be there because they're not showing up for us. They're not feeding us. Who forms connections so that they can starve us? Are we the one that does that? Are we the one that puts our passion into something and then doesn't feed it? Who doesn't feed the fire? And who is feeding our fire, but we'd rather it go out? Because it's not in service to us, it's in service to their fire. They're feeding our fire so that they can receive our heat, our warmth, our love, our affection, our resources, but our own inner fire gets smaller and smaller and smaller as all that life force is extracted. Because it's feeding something external. We're wasting our soul fire. So many of us will realize what that soul fire is. How do we recognize it and feed it? And how do we invite people to be in our life that also feed it? Instead of try to take it, extinguish it, make it smaller. So I'll pop in later today, probably later on today, and talk more about this, because there are multi-layered aspects that are going on alongside the full moon. So it's epiphanies. It's epiphanies regarding how can you better take care of yourself instead of position yourself to better take care of somebody else. Because if you're not getting that reciprocal action, if we're not having our needs met, our need for belonging, safety, security met, we're with the wrong person. We're in the wrong situation. We're in the wrong condition, the wrong job, the wrong pursuit. We shouldn't feel like our fire can only be fed from the outside, because that puts us in a position to be controlled. We fan our own flames. So if somebody isn't returning your passion, returning your attention, returning your affection, if they're not showing up for you, it's time to put that fire out. That's not the right soul fire. That's a dumpster fire. The soul fire feels good. It's returned. The flame burns together. The dumpster fire robs you of your passion, your flame, because it's all going into a black hole. So we see who really cares about us, because we see the evidence of it. Who could take us or leave us? Because we see the evidence of it. Mars is what shows up. It shows up first. It shows up ready. If we're not showing up first, we're not showing up ready, and we're not showing up appropriately to that moment, maybe we aren't as authentic as we think we are. Alrighty, guys, that's what I got. I will catch you later on today. Have a good one.